Oh, this is crazy. This is nuts. I'm not gonna start because I gotta figure out what's happening today. So I'm gonna allow our elected official or community leaders to speak first and talk about Neirs Tavern, their contribution, and talk about things that means the world to us. Okay, so we want to start with our current city council member in this district, Bob Holden.
Thank you, Lloyd. Yeah, this is one of the few landmarks in the neighborhood that you can actually have a great time, come out and have a really fun time. So I want to thank you, Lloyd. But 190 years, this should be celebrated. The mayor should be here.
No.
All right, forget about that.
Bring Rocky here. Where's Rocky?
Who else we want to say? How about the Speaker of the City Council?
Yeah.
Come on out here, Corey. Elizabeth Crowley, my predecessor's here, by the way, is right here.
There you go.
And again, we know how important Neirs is and has been for 190 years. So I want to congratulate you. We do have a proclamation. We're going to get a larger one, but we knew you didn't have much wall space left. But we'll get you a larger one when you have more wall space. So I want to present City Council proclamation to Lloyd, by the way, for the great work you're doing and will continue to do. And we'll have a parade in the 200th anniversary right down the street.
You got it.
Elizabeth Crowley.
Good afternoon. It's great to be here with Lloyd and all of you to celebrate 190 years of Neirs Tavern.
Yeah.
Let's give Lloyd and the bar a round of applause. This is the oldest and longest continually operated bar in the city of New York.
Yeah.
In the northern region, or maybe the most continuously operating in the whole country.
Okay.
And it certainly is a prize to the Woodhaven community, to our borough in Queens, and to the entire city. We are so grateful that Lloyd took over leadership and ownership of the bar, and he has treated it like a baby, like really ushering it through hard times to where we are today, so we can all celebrate. You know, Woodhaven has a lot of gems, and when I was in the city council, we were able to get our carousel landmark officially as the only type of, as they would say, moving object in the city at that time. But it didn't happen overnight. It took the Woodhaven community almost 40 years to make sure that happened. And what we're doing today is we're renewing our promise to make sure that we can come together in 40 years from today and make sure that Neirs Tavern is still here. That this is a landmark. This is a place in Woodhaven that makes our community better and stronger. And let's make it an official landmark in the city of New York once and for all, so that it will be protected in history in the future.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Is this a block party or what? Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Julio Salazar from Congresswoman Nidia Velasquez's office, and we're all here to celebrate with Loycent the 190th birthday of Neirs Tavern, and this really is the hot spot here for Woodhaven. It's a spot that serves as a space for our foodies, for our community members, for community organizations. This is the spot to be if you're a Woodhaven resident and anyone in the surrounding neighborhood. This is where you want to be here in Neirs Tavern for whatever you need. And it's really Loycent who's really made this place what it is today. After taking on like our council member said, took on this project and made it his own, to ensure that it remains here in Woodhaven, that it remains a landmark, that it's not something that's forgotten and only something in part of the history books. He wants to make sure that the legacy of Neirs Tavern and what it represents continues long into the future, and that it remains a key part of Woodhaven, and it remains a key part of everyone's experience when they come here. And you have people that come from the city, from all over the world, and they know the history of Neirs Tavern, and that's as a result of the work of community members like Lloyd, who promote the history of Neirs, and that's why we have people from all over come over here. And again, Lloyd, thank you so much for doing what you do, together with the committee, for putting on this great event. Everyone came out here for you. I know you were lost of words, but it's all for you. And here I have a congressional record for Neirs Tavern, commemorating the 190th anniversary and birthday of Neirs Tavern. And this is going to be a congressional record that's going to be in the Library of Congress. And whoever goes into the Library of Congress, whoever steps into the Library of Congress is going to know that Neirs was here in Woodhaven in 2019, and they're going to be able to visit Woodhaven after they go to the Library of Congress, and they're going to stop here and get a beer. Thank you, man.
Open it, Lloyd.
Wow.
Can I just? Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah, sorry.
Thanks, Hyman. So my name is Kate. I am here representing Councilmember Adams. Councilmember Adams chairs the Landmarks Committee. And a meeting with Lloyd is on our docket, and we certainly hope to advance the cause of landmarking. And I just have to give a shout out to Ed Wendell and the Woodhaven Historical Society. Have they done their homework? Thank you, Ed. Oh my goodness. And then of course, as a local resident, my family and my husband come here and enjoy the golden nectar. So I am pleased to be here on behalf of Councilmember Adrian Adams. God bless this institution, this commercial business. We are so happy that Woodhaven has such a brilliant historical gem. Thank you, Lord.
Good afternoon, everyone. I know you guys want to get back to dancing and rocking and rolling, but it's a little hard to be the lowest guy in the tavern floor because everybody's already said everything. You know, I'm very fortunate to know Loycent personally and to patronize this place, and I've seen him many a time sit there, hold his head, and just shake it in a no way, but yet he sits here and strives to keep this place going because he has a dream. He has a dream for this community, and he does a lot for this community. And this is why it's not usually done, but Community Board 9 wanted to recognize you. So I brought you a Community Recognition Award presented to Neirs Tavern, a recognition of this auspicious occasion of your 190th anniversary, outstanding service to the residents of Woodhaven of the Borough of Queens. Queens Community Board 9, signed by me, Chair Kenisha Wilson, October 5th, 2019. Congratulations. Let's cut the cake.
Now the floor is yours, Lloyd.
I'm sorry. Look good.
You gotta come up here. I'm sorry. Just in the beginning, there was Seth. Just please say a couple words.
Thank you, Lloyd. I'm Director Queens Economic Development Corporation, Queens Tourism Council. When Lloyd bought the tavern a number of years ago, he called our office and we connected. And we said, what a great story this is. I mean, this is a great story for so many years. You know, we always said people that, you could sit at that bar and somebody was at a war before veterans sat there too. It's incredible, the history here. Lloyd's story is a great story too. Born in Jamaica, playing in the warm waters of the Caribbean for years, ends up owning being a fireman in New York City, owning a bar in Woodhaven. Well, that's an incredible American story. Look at this crowd today. This is a great story. Everybody from Woodhaven, from Queens, New York City. White, black, Hispanic, Chinese, young, old, political views of all over the place. That's what the city is, and that's what Loy is, and that's what Neirs is. So congratulations, this is so great.
Finish it up, boy.
Oh, one more.
I was trying to keep it as much as possible to forget that I had to say something.
You have to thank your wife.
The little boy needs to cut the cake.
Yes, thank you. I'm gonna forget people because I can't eat all the burgers and drink all the beer. It's a community effort, so.
All right. I want to say a quick. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. We're looking here right now. I got it over here. We timed this out now. When Neirs opened up, it is one. Was it? It's in about. We're gonna do the countdown in a few seconds. The official openings of the door. If you're 109 years old, you ready? We go to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I just made all that up. I don't know what time it was, but it was fun, wasn't it? Just want to say congratulations to Lloyd and Aisha and Evan, and just want to thank them for everything they've done for us here in the community. And I hope we see every one of you out here all the time. And I'll hand it back to Lloyd.
All right. I don't know. This might cut out and everything will get lost. But today we have the official Queensboro historian, Jack Eichelbaum, here today. And Jack.
But there are a number of people here that didn't know that we had an official. Does this work? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many of you know that we have an official Queensboro historian who was appointed by the borough president. I was appointed by Helen Marshall and then reappointed by Melinda Katz. And probably I'll be reappointed by whoever the next borough president is. I hope so. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, what I want to do briefly to you is explain why Neirs is where it is. Many of you people here are from Woodhaven, and if you go in that direction, you suddenly start going up a hill. And then if you go in this direction, it's mostly flat down to the south shore of Long Island. But the hill is caused by the last glacier. In the last 20,000 years, the glacier came down during the Ice Age and stopped up on that hill. And if you're familiar with Hillside Avenue in Richmond Hill, Hillside Avenue continues all the way into Jamaica, and that is the bottom of the hill. And the north shore of Long Island, including Queens, was glaciated, and that's hilly. The south shore of Long Island, south of the glacial hill, the moraine, is flat. In the 19th century, there were two very important sports played in Queens, and Queens had the landscape for these two sports. Golf began in New York City, and that was played in the northern part of Queens. That's where all the golf courses are, and Queens, North Queens, still has more golf courses than any other part of Queens. South Queens, flat Queens, had the racetracks. And in the 19th century, the most popular sport was horse racing. In the 20th century, the most popular sport was baseball. And in the 21st century, it's football. But in the 19th century, Queens had 5 race courses. The oldest one was right here in Woodhaven. It was called the Union Course Racetrack. And this was the bar that people went to after they went to the races at Union Course. The racetrack is gone, but the bar is still here. Those of you who know Corona may know National Street. National Street in Corona led to the National Race Course, which was actually in Corona, but it was in a flat part of Corona. And then there was the Jamaica Race Course, which is now Rochdale Village. And then there was the Belmont Racecourse and the Aqueduct Racecourse, which are still around. So this was the first one, and it's gone, but it left Neirs here for you. So think of that when you think of racecourses and what the sports were in Queens. Queens is the sports borough of the whole city.
One more person. And yeah.
Did Bob hold it? Okay, all right. Hello, everyone. I just want to say my name's Rob Mackay. I work for the Queens Economic Development Corporation and get to run the Queens Tourism Council, and I'm also on the board of the Queens Historical Society. And I ran by the Queens Historical Society the whole story of Neirs, and everyone was so in love with it that we decided we were going to give a special plaque to Loy and to Neirs on this day. And so I guess, should I just read the plaque? Will you accept this plaque, first of all?
We all.
Okay, does everyone accept? So my eyesight isn't great. It says, Neirs Tavern, a local bar, is an important place where friendship, food, good times, and community building mix. The Queens Historical Society presents this plaque to Neirs Tavern, a legendary local bar that celebrates a legendary milestone today. 190 years of operation in the same Woodhaven spot. Congratulations, and Queens Historical Society looks forward to the next 190 years. Yeah. On a personal note, let me say that this is one of the greatest guys you'll ever meet, Loy Gordon. Look this way?
Do we miss anybody? I know that talking kind of get people going to sleep. I don't know. I hate to take up people's time. It's just something about. Not for me. We're here for us, the community. Okay, so I'm gonna quick listen. My wife. My son, Evan, my mom, Doris, all the elected officials, community leaders, the news, the media, we also need them, and most important, to you, I tell people I can't eat all the burgers and drink all the beer. I'm probably 0.1% of this entire movement. The other 99.9% is you. So everything that you see here, every emotion that you feel here, is generated by you, the community. By you standing here today with your families, your loved ones, and even people that bought journal ads that actually fund this entire thing. It's because of you. So everything that you see here, everything you feel here is because of you. And I want you to understand that. I just feel like I'm 0.01% and the others truly you. And I'm gonna make this quick. Someone told me a story about the neighbors that walked to their favorite park under this bridge, and they kept seeing this wasp nest. And one day they said, why don't they do something about that? Why don't they do something about that? You know? And the guy come out in a cardboard box and he said, they, isn't them we? Isn't them we? And so Neirs Tavern was 3 days from closing down 10 years ago. And then it got closer, closer. And I said, why don't they do something about that? Why don't they do something about that? And then I thought, I was like, isn't them we?
Yeah. Yeah.
And today, I'm standing here telling you that back then I realized that them was I, and then it turned into we. The we that's standing here in front of me right now. And this picture should be reversed. Reverse. I shouldn't be here. Matter of fact, just turn this around. I'm looking at you. You're on stage. You have the stage today because you made this happen. I felt that Neirs Tavern was a worthy cause. Isn't that the meaning of our theme for this year? Crusader. It means people that campaign for a worthy cause. And when this place was down and out, and we all knew it was special, instead of saying, why don't they do something about that? You guys came together, and them became we. And over the last 10 years, people, what's the secret to keeping the bar 190 years old? I hear all the time.
Plenty of beer.
Plenty of beer. What else? What else is there?
People.
People.
Good parties.
What? Good parties. Memories. Good food. Right? What's the secret? And I'll tell you something today. The secret, I don't know, I haven't been here 190 years. Or even 100 years. I've only been here 10 years. But one thing I realized, during that 10 years, people start realizing, instead of pointing fingers, that place over there, a landmark, they realize that it's us, it's on us. And lastly, the 10 years, I feel that this has culminated in what I called 2 words: my empowered contribution. Empowered contribution is realizing that them is us.
Yes.
Empowered contribution means that we realize that we have to be crusaders for a worthy cause. Empowered contribution means that we have to try, because even when we fail, and if we do, we know we did everything that we could, regardless what happens. And when everything has disappeared today, we know that we did everything that we could to make sure we give it the best chance of success, and do it with passion, love, and grace. Neirs Tavern is my empowered contribution to you and the community. Because we ain't gonna be perfect. It's your forgiveness, it's you talking to someone, it's you referring people. I hope today that now I have my son, I have to give my empowered contribution also to my son and my wife. So I'm not here as much as I would love to. So I ask you to join me and hold this baton together. So together we can make an empowered contribution for the next 10 years to reach 200 years old. So today I want to thank the Neirs 190 committee. It's because of them and their leadership why everything that you see, all the logistics, happened. The Neirs 190 committee, back in January, when I was like, I don't know if I could do this. I don't have the time. I got to watch my son. they said, why don't they do something about that? And then they changed it and said, isn't them us? Isn't them we? And they came together as a customer community. And you have what you look around and see here today. And I know I don't have much time, but I want to give them something. If you can get that box, I want to. I present, there was about 15 of us, along with everybody else that supported. And I'm going to present to them a certificate, an award called the Neirs Ambassador Award. And I say thank you. The Neirs Ambassador Award is holding the baton with me to make their proud contribution towards 200 years old. And so I give it to him, and it's going to say, I can't give it to everybody. I wish it might be too long. I don't want to take your time. Neirs Ambassador 2019 Charter Member. This certificate acknowledged on October 5th, 2019, our charter member, has been granted the Neirs 2019 Ambassador Award that supports the value of historic local businesses that add to the quality of life in the community of Woodhaven and New York City. And furthermore, I want to award them an official age bronze, official 190th year pin. And on it, it has our theme. For those people that realize them is we, and took up this as a worthy cause. And it says our theme, Crusader, people that campaign for a worthy cause. And I ask you, I hope you join our campaign for this worthy cause, because it's not going to be easy. Trust me, I know. When nobody's here, I know, I feel it. But this is my contribution. So, to the Neirs 190, whoever's here, please gather around, and we can cut the cake. Thank you, Walter. Walter, thank you. Carmela, thank you. Vance Barber, thank you. Kathy, thank you. Ruben, thank you. And there's a bunch of them around, probably helping around. And my wife was also on the committee, and my son. If you look in the paper, you'll see my son there, standing up front. And my son was also on the committee. He was the 16th member. So please give a round of applause to the Neirs 190 committee. Yeah. And hopefully we can make the Neirs 200 committee with 200 people. All right, because it's going to be a big one. So thank you very much. So I guess we cut the cake now? Yeah. I'm still stuck on them as we. I hate saying I. Thank you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Neirs. Happy birthday to you.